Let's talk about a very specific kind of pain. It's the kind of pain that nobody sees. You walk into a room full of English speakers. You understand the jokes. You follow the fast conversation. You catch the sarcasm. You hear every word. And in your head, you have a brilliant response. It's funny, it's intelligent, it's perfect. But then when someone turns to you and says, "What do you think?" you suddenly freeze. Your brain just goes blank. All the vocabulary that you know just disappears and you are totally frozen. Instead, you say something short, something basic, just something safe. And then afterward, you reply in your head for hours. Now, I know this feeling learning foreign languages, and it is extremely frustrating. I totally get it. You're thinking to yourself afterwards, why did I say that? Why couldn't I say what I was thinking? And why do I sound like a student when I am not? Now, if this is you, I need you to hear something very clearly. This is not a vocabulary problem, and it's also not an intelligence problem. As a native English American speaker and someone who has learned German, Portuguese, and Polish, I can tell you exactly what it is. Your brain is in input mode, and your mouth has never been trained to catch up. Today, we are going to flip that switch. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why this happens and exactly how to fix it. So the reason this hurts so much is because your understanding is actually quite high. If you only understood about 30% of what was going on, you would accept the silence. But if you're in this situation, you understand 80, maybe 90% of what is going on. And that feeling is torture. You are not lost, you are trapped. You can see the exit even, you just can't move. And that gap between understanding and speaking starts to feel like failure. But it isn't, it's training imbalance. You have built a massive passive vocabulary, but you haven't built automatic output pathways. And speaking is not about knowledge. Speaking is about speed, and speed is physical. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Most people think that learning a language is a subject like history or a sort of school subject like that. If you read enough, you know it. If you watch enough, you understand it. But English is not history. English is more like music. Imagine that you watch a professional pianist for hundreds of hours. You understand the notes, you recognize the rhythm, you even know what good sounds like. But now I sit you down at the piano. Can you play? No, because your fingers don't have the muscle memory. Understanding is a brain skill. But speaking is a motor skill. You have a 100% brain library, but a 5% muscle highway. And until you train that highway between your brain and your mouth actually speaking, you will always freeze under pressure. And that freeze, it's not mental weakness, it's a motor delay. So, there are 3 walls that are keeping you stuck here. These are the walls between your brain and your mouth. So let's break them. Wall number 1 is the perfectionist guard. In your native language, you prioritize connection. In English, you are prioritizing correctness. That pause that you take to check grammar or sentence order is killing your flow. But the reality is that native speakers really don't speak perfectly. We speak efficiently, and we choose speed over structure. We also choose the overall feeling or sentiment over verb tense or other very specific grammar. And when you are monitoring grammar in real time, your brain is doing two things at once. That overload starts to cause the silence. You don't need better grammar. You need lower standards while you're speaking. Grammar is something you can focus on when you're writing. Of course, it has its place. It's important, of course. But when you're speaking, your focus is speaking and flow. And that is what will actually make you sound natural. Fluency is for connecting. So let that be your focus and your guide when you are speaking. Wall number 2 is the physical barrier. Now, this one surprises a lot of people, but your mouth is actually a tool. Your tongue, your jaw, your lips have been shaped for however many years by your native language. So of course, that is what is natural for you. And American English uses different muscles. This means different rhythm, different tone, different tension. And if you don't train those muscles, they will always feel heavy. And that heaviness will create a delay. Delay then creates panic, and panic creates silence. Now you're seeing that we're getting to the freeze. This is exactly why I created the 7-day pronunciation workout. It's not a lesson, it's actually more like a gym session. It trains the physical pathways in your mouth. If your mouth feels heavy while you're speaking, that's not personality. That is actually untrained mechanics. If you want to check it out, I'll put the link below. And wall number 3 is the architecture trap. You are building sentences by scratch, word by word. It's like you are constructing every time you are speaking. And native speakers do not do that. We use pre-built chunks, things like, I mean, honestly, it depends, that makes sense, or I was gonna say. These are kind of like Lego blocks where we start with them and then we continue the sentence and we adjust as we're speaking. And let me let you in on a little secret. We reuse these thousands of times. Repetition is a very good thing when you are trying to sound fluent in a language. If you always build your sentences from absolute scratch, you will always be too slow. Speed comes from repetition, not from intelligence. So why do you freeze even when you know the word? This is very important. Sometimes you know the word. You studied it, you've seen it, but then in the moment, it's just gone. You don't know what happened to it. It just disappeared. That's because vocabulary that is stored for recognition is stored differently than the vocabulary that you use for production or output. Passive vocabulary is in very deep storage, and active vocabulary must be near the surface. So if you never retrieve a word out loud, it becomes buried in the back of your brain. So understanding does not equal accessibility. You can understand usually way more than you can actually say. Accessibility actually requires repetition, and that repetition should be under mild pressure. And that is how you are going to keep that word in the front of your brain. So that is part of the process that we have to work on to keep our speaking fast and natural. So I need to tell you something that textbooks won't. Native speakers are lazy. We reduce, we blend, we swallow sounds. I mean, really, everything becomes shorter. Now, listen to this. What are you going to do becomes what you're gonna do. It's actually weird when you put it together. Or another example is, did you eat yet becomes, you eat yet? I don't even know if that's understandable. If you try to pronounce everything perfectly, that actually will create some friction. Then that friction increases your effort, and effort increases the freeze, or those silent moments. And fluency is not about adding more grammar or more vocabulary, using more textbooks. It's not about that at all. It's really about reducing friction. You need to learn connected speech. You need to feel rhythm. And you need to reduce effort. When speaking starts to feel low effort, your confidence will naturally rise, and therefore your fluency will as well. So here is what you need to do starting today. Step 1 is the narrative walk. Now, I have done this tons as I'm learning foreign languages, and it honestly really, really helps. It may feel a little weird at first, but you just need to get used to it. It really helps you learn a language quicker. Just 5 minutes a day, narrate what you are doing out loud. So, for instance, I'm grabbing my bag. Where's my phone? Well, today. Just these very normal things coming in and out of your head, do them in English. And remember, say them out loud. This is simply sound production. You are practicing with your mouth, using it as a tool, getting those sounds and rhythms more comfortable. Then step 2 is shadowing the right way. I don't mean robotic repetition. I mean that you need to copy rhythm, copy the pitch, and copy the laziness. These things are extremely important in sounding natural. So use native speakers in podcasts, YouTube videos, TV shows, whatever it is, and copy after them how they speak. Then step 3 is the 2-second filler rule. When you forget a word, don't stop. That is your biggest enemy. It's killing your flow. You want to avoid stopping at all costs, okay? Instead, try saying something like, it's kind of like, or I'm trying to think how to say this. Keep the engine running while you're speaking. Remember, fluency is flow. It's not about perfection. So whatever you can do to keep that flow going is what you need to work on. So just a reminder that your speaking is going to feel messy before it starts to feel smooth. That is totally normal. Muscle training always looks a little awkward at first. You may even feel slower temporarily, and that is just adjustment. But within weeks, if you train this daily, you will notice some very subtle changes. You hesitate less, you search less, and you speak sooner. And that is progress. Now, if you are still here, you are not just a learner. You are a speaker in training. Your English is actually already inside you. We are just building that highway to your mouth. If you want structured daily training, the 7-day pronunciation workout is linked below. This isn't theory, it's just about repetition and friction removal, and it works no matter what level you are at. Now, subscribe if you want the things that textbooks don't teach you. I'm Kat, I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!